First of all, very good morning to all of you. In this class, I am going to start with another important topic of chapter Biotechnology Principles and Processes. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about the tools of recombinant DNA technology. So, what are the tools? Simply, the enzymes are required, cloning vector is required, most required, and the competent host. So, there are mainly three tools which are generally used in the other than these tools are also required, but these are the major tool for making the recombinant DNA for making the recombinant DNA. So first for making, as we discussed earlier, how we use two genetic material and these two genetic material ligated with each other so that the plant can also synthesize animal toxins. For example, in case of bt cotton, the genetically modified plant actually synthesize the toxins which is secreted by the bacillus thuringiensis mainly. So due to the ligation of the genome of bacteria, now plants are also able to synthesize bacterial toxins. Some of the also important vitamins like vitamin A synthesized by the golden rice, insulin synthesized, human insulin synthesized by the bacteria E. coli. Now all these how they can synthesize different products, that useful products for human or through the biotechnology. So there are so many steps involved in the formation of biotechnology and the introduction of genetically modified chromosome or introduction of recombinant DNA, recombinant genetic material into the host cell. For that, the host cells are also able to synthesize a particular important genes or important proteins, for example. Now first we discuss about previous class content, then we proceed to the today's topic. In previous class we have already discussed about the steps, principles of recombinant DNA technology, in which genetic engineering and the host transfer of the genetic material recombinant DNA into the host cell or sterilization methods. The second principle is, now in the first step or first principle, genetic engineering is through the genetic engineering there is certain changes in chemical changes in the genetic material of organism so that we can synthesize our own or desired protein or useful protein or products. For example, antibiotic synthesis, hormone synthesis, protein synthesis, and the different type of chemicals get synthesized, vitamin synthesized through the plant, through the living organism. So what we are generally changing in the DNA so that we can synthesize our desired product through the biotechnology is the change in the genetic material. So either involve the removal or addition of the genetic material. So the overall, because for example, bacteria itself are not able to synthesize human insulin, but when we ligate our own genome into the bacterial cell, that specific genome which are responsible for the synthesis of insulin hormone. So after the ligation of these specific sequence, now we synthesize the human insulin hormone through the bacteria. So overall, these steps these are the following steps which are generally used in the biotechnology. So first, what are the tools of for making the recombinant DNA technology or in the recombinant DNA technology? So first tool is enzymes. First tool is enzyme. So we generally use enzyme, different type of enzyme used for the recombinant DNA technology. Second step or second tool is cloning vector. discuss about so after cloning vector, the third tool is very important tool. The tool is competent host organism. Host competent host organism. So overall, these are the major tools which generally utilize in the production of recombinant DNA and our desired product, recombinant DNA 2. So for making the recombinant DNA, first we introduce our genetic material or plant genetic material, what we want, which we want to synthesize from E. coli bacteria from host cell. Simply we introduce our genetic material, plant genetic material into the cloning vector. After the introduction of cloning vector into the recombinant DNA will form, and that recombinant DNA then are finally introduced into the host organism for cloning of our genetic material. Simply the amplification or also said to be cloning of our genetic material for synthesizing our desired product. So overall, these are the tools which are generally used in the biotechnology, in the field of recombinant DNA technology, to synthesize our desired product. Now let us discuss about the first tool, enzyme. First tool, that is enzyme. Enzyme. So enzyme is the most important tool. Generally so many enzymes used in the recombinant DNA technology. First, the enzyme utilized for the dissolution of cell membrane, so that we can isolate our genetic material or bacterial genetic material or plasmid from the cell. So different enzymes use for example, cellulase, chitinase, lysozyme. These are the common enzymes which generally use for the breaking down of the cell membrane. Cell membrane of bacteria, fungus, plant. Cellulase, because cellulase used in the plant degeneration of plant cell, bacterial cell, and then fungal cell. So after the isolation of our genetic material, the first important enzyme which we'll use in the breaking of DNA molecule. Why breaking is important? Because when after the breakage, after the cutting of DNA, there is at that reason actually we generally add our genetic material or plant genetic material into the vector DNA. So first is enzyme. The most important enzyme is restriction enzyme. Restriction endonucleases. Restriction endonucleases. Restriction, that means restrict. These enzymes are restricted, or they actually cut on a specific sequence of DNA, a specific region of DNA. So here is for example, here is a double helical structure of DNA. If we want to use restriction endonuclease enzyme, so endo, that means in inner side of the nucleic acid, endonuclease, that means inner side of nucleases, that means cut or digest nucleic acid, cut the nucleic acid only. So they only cut, not protein, because if proteases if they cut the protein chain, so the name will be proteases, but the name is nucleases. So according to the name of this enzyme, they only cut the inner side of the nucleic acid only. Nucleic acid, deoxyribonucleic acid, for example, DNA. Now restriction, that means they cut the DNA at restrict site, the specific sequence. So they cut the DNA at specific sequence. Specific sequence. That, what is that specific sequence? So there are about 900 type of restriction endonuclease nucleases are discovered. Now these endonucleases cut DNA at the inner side of nucleic acid, or at the inner side of DNA molecule. Endonucleases or restriction, that means they cut at specific sequence. For example, the restriction endonuclease EcoR first. This is the name of restriction endonuclease which use in the cutting of DNA generally at the inner side of DNA, but the property of this EcoR first is they cut the DNA molecule, breaks the phosphodiester bond in between adenosine and guanosine. So mostly they cut the phosphodiester bond present in between adenosine and adenine and guanine. Guanosine. So they are specific, so that's why they are known as restriction endonucleases, because of their specific nature, restrict nature. When we use restriction endonuclease, so they are specific, so that's why they are known as restriction endonucleases, because of their specific nature, restrict nature. When we use restriction endonuclease, we generally know about the properties of these restriction endonucleases, or where generally we want to cut the DNA molecule at a specific region only. That type of restriction endonuclease will use for cutting at a specific region. For if we want to cut this DNA molecule from this DNA molecule from this region, for example, if they have A or G sequence in between this region only, then we use restriction endonuclease, EcoR first restriction endonuclease. If they do this region not have A or G sequence, so we will not use that restriction endonucleases for cutting at this region, because this region do not have A or G sequence, or this restriction endonuclease will cut only a specific sequence, or break down the phosphodiester bond present in between A and G only. So that's why we use another restriction endonuclease for cutting down of this sequence. This reason not have A or G sequence, so we will not use that restriction endonucleases for cutting at this region, because this region do not have A or G sequence, or this restriction endonuclease will cut only a specific sequence, or break down the phosphodiester bond present in between A and G only. So that's why we use another restriction endonuclease for cutting down of this sequence, because of this EcoR first is not useful for this sequence. So out of 900 endonucleases, so many endonucleases are specific. They cut another site of, except this reason, they cut another site of DNA, another phosphodiester bond present in between another nitrogenous bases or present on DNA molecules. So this is the example, just only the example of restriction endonucleases. So first there are two type of So in 1963 there was isolation of two endonucleases. In 1963 two endonucleases isolated from E. coli. E. coli. Now the function of this E. coli endonucleases which are isolated from E. coli is actually first endonuclease add methyl group on DNA. Methyl group on DNA. First restriction endonuclease is add methyl group of DNA for securing the end of, because why the methyl group is added, for because DNA is negatively charged, phosphate group present, phosphate group have two oxygen with high electronegative, two oxygen with lone pair of electrons. So that's why the DNA is also reactive. So neutralizing the characteristic of DNA, actually there is addition of methyl group. Now the second endonuclease used for actually cut the DNA molecule, at the inner side. So at the inner region, also said to be inner region. So these are the two type of endonucleases. First type of endonucleases add methyl group on DNA molecule, or the second type of endonucleases cut the inner region of DNA from the inner region of DNA molecule. Now all after these the Wilkins. So after this in 1968 Wilcox and Kelly isolated Hind second restriction endonuclease. Hind second restriction endonuclease. The Hind second restriction endonuclease cut DNA at specific sequence. Cut DNA in second, cut DNA at specific sequence formed by 6 base pair. Formed by 6 base pairs. Formed by 6 base pair. At this and the sequence is known as recognition sequence. Recognition sequence. So recognition sequence. So overall, this is about the restriction endonuclease. First restriction endonuclease nucleus isolated in 1968 by Wilcox or Kelly, or this is Hink second restriction endonuclease. This cut the DNA molecule at specific sequence which is formed by 6 base pairs only, and that sequence which is formed by 6 base pair known as recognition sequence. So when the restriction endonuclease move along with DNA or move over the DNA molecule, so they identified the recognition sequence which contains the palindromic sequence. The palindromic sequence is simply when we read from left to right, the sequence is exactly same as when we read at opposite side, for example from right to left. So when we read from right or from left, the sequence will be exactly similar. So that sequence is known as palindromic sequence, or that is actually a recognition sequence which is formed by 6 base pair. Or Hink second restriction enzyme cut the DNA molecule at that sequence, at a specific sequence, that means the after the recognition of sequence. So along the strand, for example, if we are using the EcoR first restriction endonuclease, so they cut generally the phosphodiester bond present in between G and A, but they not cut all the phosphodiester bond present in between G or A on DNA molecule. So when we use, if this is the reason, so they form so many fragments, not only 1, 2 fragment, they actually form so many fragments. So this is not the exactly reason they cut at a specific sequence or cut the phosphodiester bond present in between G and A, but also DNA have the specific recognition sequence for EcoR first, for the use of EcoR first. If that specific sequence specific recognition sequence is not present on DNA molecule, or the DNA will have G or A region. So because of the absence of recognition sequence, the restriction endonuclease enzyme will not cut DNA into 2 fragment or into 3 fragment and so on. So here is the reason why these are used. Now next is the how the restriction endonuclease get their name, or how what actually they represent according to their name. So naming of restriction endonuclease. So next is naming of restriction endonuclease or enzyme. Naming of restriction enzymes. So for example, EcoR first. EcoR is capital and the first. EcoR first denotes the name of organism as well as strain and order of isolation. Order of isolation. And this indicate genes or co-indicate species. For example, the EcoR first isolated from E. coli bacteria. So what actually indicate the E represents genes or this represent species. R represent strain of bacteria, strain of simply bacteria, and I represent order of isolation. Order of isolation. So all these letter represents the characteristic of this enzyme, also from where they get isolated, in which sequence they get isolated from the bacteria. Eco are first isolated from E. coli species. E represents genes, R represent E. coli strain, and order first represent order of isolation. So here is the overall restriction enzyme EcoR first, and in the tools of recombinant DNA technology, first tool is enzyme, second tool is cloning vector, and the third tool is competent host organism. So in today's class we discussed about enzymes, that is restriction enzyme. There are two kinds of enzyme mostly, exonucleases or endonucleases. Endonucleases cut the DNA at the end side of at the end region of the DNA or terminal region of the DNA, but endonucleases cut the intermediate region of DNA, inner region or intermediate region of DNA molecule. The restriction enzyme, the name of restriction enzyme given to the endonucleases because they are restricted, they cut the DNA at a specific sequence. The specific sequence is palindromic sequence. That is palindromic sequence is that sequence when we read that sequence from left to right, it is exact similar to the when we read from right to left. So that sequence is known as palindromic sequence. The restriction endonuclease enzyme isolated from E. coli molecule. The restriction enzyme, the name of restriction enzyme given to the endonucleases because they are restricted, they cut the DNA at a specific sequence. The specific sequence is palindromic sequence. That is palindromic sequence is that sequence when we read that sequence from left to right, it is exact similar to the when we read from right to left. So that sequence is known as palindromic sequence. The restriction endonuclease enzyme isolated from E. coli from the E. coli, that is EcoR first, or from the bacteria Hind. The first is Hind second, which is isolated by the two scientists in 1968, Wilcox and Kelly, or they identified that this restriction enzyme have the recognition sequence. They cut only after the identification of recognition sequence. If the EcoR first, that is they cut the DNA at a specific region or cut the breaks the phosphoester bond present in between G or A, but not cut DNA in anywhere where the G and A is present. They only recognize the palindromic sequence, then after cut the DNA at a specific region. So here is the overall about the restriction enzyme. In next class we will discuss about the cloning vector. I hope you like this video or keep listening and watching me, and thank you for listening and watching me.